you've just blown your last summon's worth of top grossing stones, and you no longer have control over which banner you've been summoning on. Your discounts are all over the place, and you're sitting in the position where you pretty much have one summon ticket left. You're caught in a crossroads because you don't know if you're going to summon enough or get enough stones to activate the discounts or get enough tickets to do another multi. So you spend your one ticket hoping that Goku's going to come in and he's going to proc a Vegeta Blue animation, a Goku's Rift. But he flies in, fires the Kamehameha, and you're greeted with SR Raccoon. So what do? You bite the pain. You immediately delete the game, probably. A lot of people have. Or you go and link level. Because really, you have nothing else. You just go to link level. Because maybe hitting that level 10 link you've been chasing for 6 months will finally make you feel like you got something of value. This is the feeling of being shafted. This feeling is not a good feeling. And it happens to a lot of players, especially around the anniversary, but it happens to a lot of players throughout the history of Dokkan. And it's a word that's not synonymous with just Dokkan. It's synonymous with a lot of gacha games. It's synonymous with a lot of games in general. But the feeling of being shafted is actually defined by Urban Dictionary pretty well. And I think we'll use that definition here. But essentially, it means to be royally screwed either by an unfortunate situation or regardless of preparation. And I think the regardless of preparation is what really covers Dokkan. Because a lot of players spend a lot of time farming stones for months as free-to-play players or not as free-to-play. Everyone farms the same stones. And spends money possibly to get these units. Now I think a lot of people don't understand that. There are plenty of people that both spend money and religiously farm everything possible from this game. So it's not just a question of whether you feel shafted purely from an effort basis. You can feel shafted from both effort and from time. I've seen players like myself with 1,300 stones and no anniversary LR. I've seen players with 4,000 stones and no anniversary LR. I've seen players post with 6,000 stones and no anniversary LR. It's incredible how much people can take in terms of tolerance from this game. And I can understand why people might feel like they have to just uninstall the game. It does not feel rewarding. The gacha system and the shafting system is not good, unfortunately. It isn't something that I think is good for the long-term health of Dokkan. It's been out 7 years. They're obviously not entirely, they're not, too concerned by it, but I think it's about time for it to change. So, for me, obviously, just to take a look at the system, your only real pretty system that exists in Dokkan is the coin system. I've discussed this before and how this needs to change, so I'm not going to talk about that. I'm more talking about the emotional feeling of being shafted, and doesn't matter. So for everyone who currently has that sinking feeling, that feeling of being shafted, it's okay. Regardless of how many stones you spent, whether it was 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 6,000, 600, if you are feeling shafted, if you're feeling hard done by, that is more than fine. There is no reason for you to not feel that way. You do not need to hold back. You do not need to, be held down or anything. You are welcome to focus and do have that feeling as much as possible. It is more than fine. So just don't feel like I shouldn't be feeling shafted because I only spent this many stones and this person spent so many stones. Yes, contextually there might be different values, but to yourself, all that matters is your feeling of being shafted. Secondly, in terms of shafting, I never truly suggest people to delete games, especially if you've spent money in it. It kind of actually feels pointless deleting something that you spent money in. Of course, if you have a spending problem, if your amounts of spending in games like Dokkan and just in games in general is too much for your lifestyle to afford, you should delete those games and possibly seek help and assistance. So there's a very big difference between being shafted and the feeling of being shafted and actually needing therapeutical or medical assistance or psychological assistance in dealing with a gambling addiction or a spending addiction. It's a very different thing. Being shafted and feeling bad because you spend time, effort, and money to get something is not the same as having an unhealthy addiction to spending inside of a video game. Take note, if you feel bad, okay, because you didn't get the unit, that's a normal reaction. If you feel bad and your immediate response is to solve it by having a unlimited limit on your credit card for which to apply to Dokkan, then you need to seek that there is possibly a different problem at play. But let's talk about shafted, because should you be feeling shafted? Should being shafted even happen? Well, no, you shouldn't. The pity system does need to be upgraded. We've spoken about it on this channel before. It's really, it is really much, yeah, it is a challenge. With that being said, the feeling of being shafted will dissipate. It will go away after a couple of days. You will generate a small stone stockpile again. You will begin to look forward towards when the units come back or what exciting new units come around the corner. And eventually that feeling that you have will subside. There's also some really nice easy A's coming out in part 2. There's a legendary banner, which although probably if you're like me, you're not going to have any stones for. There is a legendary banner as well that there will be some player value on. There is a third part to the anniversary if it's the same as last year. There is a whole new celebration. There's worldwide celebration coming up. There's Heroes celebration coming up. There's Christmas celebration coming up. There's possible global firsts. There's a ton of content that could be coming around for Dokkan. Your feeling of being shafted will fade. Now, if you're like me, you haven't pulled an anniversary unit since the 5th year anniversary. 5th year anniversary, I pulled Strength Gogeta. One copy in 1,400 stones. In terms of literally everything else, unfortunately, I didn't have a great time. 6th year anniversary, I didn't get a single banner unit as well. None of the legendaries and none of the DFE LRs. And this year so far, I have spent 1,300 stones and received nothing. So it's been a very, very joyous time. Honestly, it's fine. I do feel sad in the moment, but at the end of the day, it's just a game. Now, it is easier for me to say because I don't spend a lot of money on the game. And I'm sure if I did spend a lot of money on the game, I would feel worse. I can't say I wouldn't, but at the same time, I think people need to understand that if you are going to put money in the slot machine and not win, you have to also accept responsibility for that. And so your expectations do need to be curved from the beginning. Now, is Dokkan's pity system or its Gaccha system perfect? Hell no. Dokkan needs to improve its pity system. For me, we've discussed it before, and I will link the video if I haven't already linked it, but the Gaccha system needs to change. We need to get more value out of summoning consecutively on a banner, whether that's even just the ability to buy the unit immediately. I don't understand the need to delay it to come around a second time. I know they have concerns that it's going to cause people to only go to 500 red coins. If someone is going to 500 red coins to summon for a unit, one, that's like over a year and a bit of free-to-play stones, so there's no ways it's a free-to-play player. And secondly, 5,500 red coins amounts to 2,500 stones. So, yeah, take your pick. Like, I just think it's a lot to expect players to drop so much money and to not get anything. But with that being said, guys, I just wanted to basically make this video to just say you can be shafted if you are a YouTuber, you can be shafted if you're a normal player, you can be shafted if you're a free-to-play player, you can be shafted if you spend money, you can be shafted in a lot of ways. But it's very important to not let that get you down. It's very important that you focus on the positive things. There's lots of easy A's coming out. You would have picked up some great units. You probably rainbowed a couple if you're like me. And yeah, you just need to not look at the negatives for too long. And you'll recover and you'll start to enjoy Dokkan again. Or just push on and move on to another game and rather have fun. That's going to be it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Something a little bit different, but hey. And I'll see you guys in the next one. So until then, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.